Hello, hello, hello. Let's go ahead and get things set up here a little bit. How's everyone doing this morning? Or whenever you watch this, hope you're doing well. We are live. Volume this down. Don't expect hardly anyone to be in here this morning. It's kind of early. Leave a little message. All right. Hit that like button. Oh, I already got another like. Oh, thank you. That might be JP. Hope y'all are doing well. Sniper Dog on duty. Good morning. How are you? All right, let me pin that good morning message there real quick. All right. And pin. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Yeah, YouTube's doing some weird stuff this morning, so try to bear with it, I guess. But, let's go ahead and claim this. Noggle Robber. I should make a Noggle deck. Be kind of cool. I don't even know if there is enough Noggle stuff. Alright, let's see. Mastery. What are we going to get? I'm going to pick up another card art. Let's see. I'm kind of not kind of a fan of green and white anyway, so we'll go ahead and pick this one up. How's the stream? Is it getting enough information? Yeah.
Respectfully, he was utmost, respect to Donald Trump, even though Donald Trump deserves zero respect from him with the way that Trump and Vance have treated him and his people. But Pierce, that was the biggest takeaway, is that, look, the United States, you've got as much military access on Greenland as you want. This isn't about military access with Trump. It's never been. He can't say that because that prime minister's too nice and decent. But this is all about Trump wanting to put his name on something and Trump financially wanting to get Greenland's natural resources. What a great young man, a great young leader.
Andrew Wilson, we're going to come much later in the show to your conversation with Joe Rogan about my shattered hip and the life expectancy that the pair of you decided to come up with, which basically inferred.
Wait a second, I thought I was nice. I thought I was super nice.
You were actually. No, you were. Although you were the first to suggest alcohol had played a part in my downfall, and I can categorically assure you, zero alcohol had passed my lips. Which actually,
well, I mean, it would have played a part in my downfall. that's what I thought. It's like,
well, actually,
it would have been that.
Actually, a doctor friend of mine said, had I been intoxicated, I would have had a much easier fall. I'd have basically rolled, and I wouldn't have caused such damage. Anyway, we're going to come to that later because it made me laugh. Welcome back to Uncensored. It was a great interview, actually, with you and Joe. I really enjoyed that. This issue of Greenland, I mean, let's extrapolate this really to a wider worldview that Trump seemed to have, which is, I can take what I want. The United States is so big, so powerful. We have the world's biggest military. If I want Greenland, I'm going to help myself.
It's buffering real bad. Yeah, it gave me like a message. It took a while for it to even log in. Like right here, you'll see it says it right here. I don't really understand what the problem is here. So, see that yellow bar right there? Yeah. So there's something going up. Something's been going on with the internet for, I don't know, about a week and a half now. I really think we got some weird stuff coming our way soon, folks.
Do you, as an American, do you feel comfortable about that kind of mindset, particularly relating to a country that is under the sovereignty of a NATO ally, which not just any old NATO ally? The Danes actually lost, I think, the third as highest number of people in the Afghanistan war, for example, when they came and fought with Americans against the Taliban per capita. I think it was the highest per capita, actually, were the Danes. So, the Americans owe the Danes a lot, and yet here you've got the president saying, yeah, I may just come and take it. What did you feel about that?
Well, I don't know exactly what the strategic reason actually is. And that's the big problem, right? Is we do know that there's a lot of natural resources there. And we know that Trump wants to buy it. We know that the United States wants to stay a global hegemon. And however it needs to stay a global hegemon, it's going to do whatever that means, right? Whether it's Trump or not Trump. In this particular case, I do think that Trump thought he could probably buy this outright, but they're not selling. As far as the memes and things like that, I don't think that's a huge deal at all. As far as I'm concerned, this is still something which is going on under negotiation. And I think he's going to try to buy it. I think he's going to try to buy it for the strategic interest of the United States. And good luck to him. Maybe it'll be the 51st state.
Well, Cameron Kasky, welcome to Uncensored. I've been saying from the start of this debate about Greenland, there are only 60,000 of them. You're not talking about millions of people. And I don't know how many of them would categorize themselves as wealthy or poor or whatever. I'm not sure exactly of the economic breakdown of Greenlanders. But if they were, for example, as I posited to the Prime Minister, to vote in a referendum to be independent, which, notwithstanding what he said, most people think is more likely to happen, that they would vote to go independent. If the Americans made an offer, significant financial offer, to enrich the lives of each Greenlander, I could see that potentially being an option they may take.
Well, in Europe, they have health
Stream's better now? Okay, cool. Thanks, Sniper Dog on Duty. Thanks for the input.
care, and I think that's what a lot of people want. In the United States, you can get sick and just go broke, and that's something that Donald Trump is not willing to do anything about. But the Greenland situation...
Yeah, no, that statement, in the United States, you can get sick and go broke. Yeah, person's not wrong, but how is the president going to do exactly? How does the president do something about that? But he's the executive branch, not the legislative branch. Policy and laws are part of the legislative branch, right? I mean, am I getting this really wrong here?
Boils down to the fact that the global order that was established after World War II to prevent something like that from happening again is something that President Trump is more than happy to not only disrupt, but chip away at if it serves the interest of whoever he is working for. So the Greenland situation, in my opinion, is Trump just happily playing Risk because he likes throwing power and tough talk around. But ultimately, it's something that is going to be very damaging to the United States, to our...
Risk is probably one of my favorite games, especially playing that with a bunch of my friends at one point in time. My buddies and I, we used to play Risk all the time. Good times back in my childhood.
Reputation, which has already taken so many hits in the past year. And being a global power is not just about what type of force and threats of violence you can throw around. It's not about what type of money you can throw around. It's about partnerships and building trust with other leaders. And in the past year, Donald Trump has given places like the EU a lot of reason to believe that we are not a stable partner. And that's why I think a lot of those countries are going to be turning to China, and it is going to backfire for generations.
They're not turning to China. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think
you can look at what they're doing financially.
No, not if you look at what they're doing financially. No, the United States is still the hegemon. It's going to stay the hegemon. The EU is not going to do anything about it. There's mayors of cities here. I believe in the United States have more than 60,000 people. You guys have TDS and everything Trump does is evil and awful and this and that. But the truth is that this is a hegemon. It is the global hegemon. And if we want to leverage our nation in order to acquire more land in our strategic interests, we're going to do that. And the EU is not going to do anything about it. And that's the truth.
Okay. All right. Let me bring in Lydia. Welcome to Uncensored, Lydia. Good to have you on. Do you agree with that? I mean, that a lot of people feel that talking that way about a country owned by a NATO ally is at best disrespectful, and at worst the actions of a bully, right? Somebody who just says, you know what, if we want it, we're going to take it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, if you take a line out of Billie Eilish's book, no one is illegal on stolen land. So I think we have every right to it, according to her logic. Look, I don't think we should use military force. I don't think that's going to be happening. But look, people have wanted Greenland in the U.S. since William Seward back in the 1800s. When he purchased Alaska, he also wanted to get Greenland. Truman, once again, tried to get Greenland, and the history of the U.S. is perfect for data centers that can cool naturally. There are those rare earth minerals that right now we don't have in the U.S. So I think it would be great if we can cobble together some kind of deal that everyone is happy with. More power to them.
Okay, let's move on to other big stuff in the news. Joe, the Epstein scandal. So many things pouring out of this massive drop of stuff that came in the last few days. Interestingly to me, because I'm in London at the moment, the consequences of this dump have been dramatic in the UK, right? Yeah. We are currently engulfed by what I would say with some confidence is the biggest royal scandal in my lifetime and the biggest political scandal in my lifetime, both happening simultaneously as a direct consequence of the former Prince Andrew, now Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, and Lord Mandelson, who I suspect will soon not be a lord and may well be propping up a prison cell, who was the UK ambassador to Washington. You know, these guys are toppling like dominoes, but what's interesting is we're not seeing Americans toppling like dominoes, even though there's a plethora of big-name Americans in there. What's going on here? Why is it that America, for some reason, is not exacting accountability in the same immediate?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's probably unwatchable. I'm probably going to end the stream. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what is going on with it, but when I was loading it up, it took a while for it to even load up. So there's got to be something bizarre happening with the buffering. It's saying it's not getting enough signal. Choose blocker. Let's do that. So sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on with it.
The dramatic way that we're doing, say, in the UK.
And Pierce, kudos to you over there, because yes, you are beginning to aggressively hold the rich and the powerful, the elites, accountable for their relationships with the pedophile, the head of the pedophilia ring, Jeffrey Epstein. We're not doing that here. Republican, Democrat, independent business leaders, political leaders, there are a bunch of rich and powerful, elite people, men in these files, and we're not going near them. I think the president of the United States right now is doing everything he can to protect them. I think he's using the Justice Department to protect powerful people. Again, Republican and Democrat across the board. We're not holding them accountable. And Pierce, I'll leave you with this. Look, the current president of the United States is mentioned in these files thousands and thousands of times. There are allegations, just allegations, Pierce. There are allegations in these files that Donald Trump raped underage girls and threatened to kill an underage
okay, but let me stop you there, Joe. But here's the problem. But Joe, here's the problem. Those have already been looked at, instantly dismissed as the stuff of fantasy. The problem, if you're Donald Trump, is that absolutely anyone could call in with any outrageous allegation and it gets logged and then appears in these files. I think we've got to be a bit more grown up about how we approach this. Nobody thinks Donald Trump...
Yeah, it's buffering really bad, isn't it? Sorry, guys.
...raped children, right? I mean, you don't think that. I don't think that. And it's already been dismissed by the investigators as the stuff of just a...
I mean, maybe I can't even have that running right now. Let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and turn this off. All right, we're just gonna stay with the game for now, I guess. See if that helps anything. Sorry about the quality, folks. Seems to come and go. Yeah. Open widget. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough. So the stream status is poor. I don't know what I can do. The internet's been just absolute crap in my area. Just everyone's complaining about it. So, sorry. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end the. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, guys, because it's not really working. Sorry. We'll see you guys later.